How are you tonight? Good? Good stuff, good stuff. I'm going to talk to you about how football has unintentionally been an alternative intervention in England. Right? So as you know, guys don't really speak, but they invest heavily in football. It's like that, I don't know if any of you had that cod liver oil when you was growing up. You know, it's like, you didn't really want to take it, but you did it because your mum told you it was good for you. That's like therapy. So some boys do it, and some are like, yeah, no, I ain't doing it, right? Now, that's a big claim for me to make, an unintentional alternative intervention to serving boys in this country for generations. Do you want to know how? Do you want to know how? Yeah. Jeez! Okay, so, there are many things. One of them, I would say, is that they provide a sense of adventure, so there's risk. There's boys like a bit of a challenge. They like the fact that there's a potential way that they could lose. There's also pressure, but within a controlled space. The other element is extending boundaries. So you would have a lot of boys that would flourish. You often hear the stories of the tough beginnings that a lot of these professionals actually, they came from. And it's because when they were rejected in the homes, excluded in schools, and shunned in society, for the same reasons why they were excluded, actually, they were not only embraced, but pushed up the hierarchy. So, you know, if you displaced aggression, they'd be like, oh, go on, lad! And it's like, oh, you know, the bits that actually people don't really like about me is loved here. And for that, it actually brings their self-esteem up, brings up their confidence, and they flourish. And so when I was playing and then when I became a therapist, I started to learn that actually we focus on waiting till people have problems. And also, a lot of times we're trying to force them to do things they don't want to do. And so then when you look at the data, you have, it's 50% of adult mental health actually starts before the age of 14. And 10 years on average goes by before people actually get help. That's really, really big statistics. But when you look at the benefits that football provides, what I've just mentioned just touches on it. And what I'm talking about, I actually refer to as football's hug. It holds these boys and socializes them. So I touched on the ones that are professionals, but some of you are going to be, well, some of you are in this audience, because I know some of you already that are in this audience, but it holds them and socializes them. And actually, the game provides the neurochemical benefits of a physical hug. Dopamine, endorphins, and it reducing stress, all of those things, just by being in that space. And it's under threat, and this is why, when I was thinking about what am I going to speak to you about tonight, I thought, I need to talk about this. You know, in the book I've written, I've got footballers from all around the world, I've got senior partners from KPMG, I've got all these people, all this stuff, fancy stuff, but actually it's under threat. Do you want to know why?
Why?
You don't. Do you want to know why? Yeah. Okay, good. It's because we are trying to remove stress from their experience. And you don't build resilience, especially needed for life, without it. Yeah? So you can forget all that CPD you've done in your workplace. That's not resilience. Yeah? Real resilience, HR will be overloaded with emails and there'll be litigation left, right, and center. Yeah? You need to go through that experience. And so unfortunately, we're in a space where we are removing all of these layers that they're actually having to go through to actually build these qualities. And at first, I saw it in schools and other clubs, but it's actually now within the professional football space. This is a huge concern. Now, this isn't just about football, by the way, but I'm using football. The same reason why I wrote psychology. I'm using it because I know people love it all around the world and it grabs people's attention. But I'm going to step out of football right now. Has anyone seen the Mufasa film, the Lion King Mufasa film? I'm going to give you all homework. The ones who've seen it, watch it again. In that story, I found it was amazing. You had a young lion who was brave because called Taka, and he saved a young Mufasa from a crocodile. He was then showing maturity by letting him win a race that he had a lot riding on. But what happened to Taka was his dad said, you are not going out in the wild to practice hunting because you are going to be king. So what happened was, he stayed by his dad's side, whilst a young Mufasa was going out to hunt. He was being exposed to different levels of stress, and he was developing out throughout the years. Whenever they experiences any challenges in life, Taka struggled. Now, as a young man, when I was young, I'm still a young man, but when I was a younger man, you have this view of yourself of being an adult, even though you're not. And I think when you're teens, there's this thing about having that protection over mum. And I'm saying this because guys know exactly what I'm talking about, by the way. But in this film, Taka's mum was in danger. She was in danger. And he hid. And Mufasa saved his mum. And from that moment, there were other elements throughout this film. And he became extremely resentful, weak, and then turned on his own lion pride. Whereas Mufasa kept growing and growing and growing. Right? Taka became the lion that you know as Scar. And we've all grown up and seen Takas within our areas, and we know them. And we've also seen when they became Scar. And when I talk about football, I'm not just talking about this game. Oh, I've got some data. Oh yeah, listen to this. This is great. The Lion King is an archetypal story. This is etched in our unconscious. This is why it connects with us. So we are seeing that. I'm presenting that in football, but I'm also showing you in stories that we see all the time. And sometimes we miss the message. We are celebrating Own It's 10 years. And the slogan is, stories are life. And they truly are, because every time we get exposed to these stories, we connect with them. But I think it's very important that we are loyal to those stories, regardless of those risks, because we know that they will pull us through. I think my time is up. I don't know, I'm happy to stay longer. Yeah, can I stay? I'm good? Okay. Thank you very much. I'm Kevin George. Thank you.